Kombat.
And then Jax, Michael J. White is the voice of Jax.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that either.
So originally, here's a fun fact. He was supposed to be Jax in the first Mortal Kombat movie. He turned down the role for the full lead of Spawn.
The Spawn movie was okay.
Yeah,
it was all right. I mean, Spawn. I remember I have Spawn #1. I think I'm a big comic book nerd.
Yeah.
And I had all the iterations there of the initial Spawn, Todd McFarlane, and the Image comics that came out. I had all those original Image comics in the '90s. The problem was they had too many of them produced, so value is questionable.
True.
But the storyline on Spawn was unique. You know, because he's effectively Hellspawn.
Right.
That's what he is, but he's not a bad dude. And then the fact that there's other things he had to struggle with, like that his family, he had to watch his family from afar initially, and they didn't know he was back. And I mean, I have kids.
Similar to Deadpool, they both came out burnt.
Yeah. Unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable.
Yeah.
I think that kind of same storyline kind of helps spawn a lot of other comic book lines too, as far as storylines, so to speak. Ish.
So what are you Marvel or DC folks?
DC.
Even
though I'm wearing a Marvel
I was about to say you're wearing a Marvel shirt.
Both ways,
DC.
I would say.
Yeah,
Did you grow up in the comic books?
I didn't have a large influence when I was younger, and a lot of things I did see, I found out later on they pertained to the Marvel or DC universe.
Yeah.
Like Ghost Rider and Punisher. Various others I can't seem to think of immediately for some reason. But yeah, mostly in the 90s when it started coming out. I watched a lot of Batman. Animation like that because it was there, and I enjoyed that. Batman. Gargoyles.
Well, I think you should be able to like all of them, right?
Yeah.
I do tend to like, I mean, obviously, if you look at, I'll show you my office at the end, but, Superman. I mean, even the whole Kickin Lawyer thing was because I'm a Superman fan. The color scheme and everything is Superman.
You see that.
Clark Kent.
Yeah, I mean, like you see the comic book looks like Superman.
I get the same effect looking at it. Like, I'm going to be safe. I got this.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but, I think, I don't know if you know this, but the reason I like Superman, and a lot of people think now because I'm this bigger guy that I'm confident and all that maybe it's because I think I'm Superman. But actually, growing up, I was nerdy. I was a super geeky kid.
Yeah.
And so as a kid, the reason I like Superman is because of Clark Kent. Because I identified with Clark Kent. He was this nerd, but he had this hidden power, And so to me, it was more about I was Clark Kent, I could become Superman than it was I was Superman, if that makes any sense. So I always had that affinity for Superman because of that story, because of Clark Kent.
Right.
He was this bumbling, nerdy guy that had this hidden power. So anyway, I think I wish more people. I grew up reading comic books. I grew up reading all kinds of stuff. You talking about reading books? I read all kinds of books too all the time. But I think that's a thing that kids are missing nowadays because they're on these phones all the time. Is they don't get to delve into a book or just. I think it programs your brain differently when you're reading it than when you're looking at it on the screen.
True.
It does.